Thank you for staying with us. Now back to our top story. Judges James Rekureni, Matthew Francis and Lister Nuku today ruled that President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision to suspend advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane is invalid. She is currently facing a parliamentary impeachment inquiry into her fitness to hold office. Joining us now to unpack the political implications of the judgment on suspended Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane is political analyst Dr Zamokuhle Mbandlwa. Dr. Mbandlwa, very good evening. Thanks for speaking to us. There were murmurings of this is unfair, unjustified, and obviously now this judgment has come through from the Western Cape High Court. Should we be surprised? Are you surprised?
Good evening, Hugo, and good evening to the viewers at home. Of course, many people are surprised, but I think the legal experts have said a lot about the outcome of today and what to expect in the near future. But I want to say this judgment sparked a debate, and many people in the society will be interested on what happens next. And if you look at what has happened in the past, many people did not have faith in the justice system because it favored specific or certain people. But now, particularly in the political space, because I want us to look at what does this mean in the political perspective, and what maybe to expect. Now, you remember in the past, those who are aligned with the current president were seen as people who are also safe in terms of the legal processes or in terms of the judiciary, because it was seen as if the judiciary is in favor of the current leadership of the ANC and of the current leadership in government. Now, this one now will then bring hope to the people, even those who thought that maybe the current president cannot be held accountable for whatever that he do because he's the president. So this judgment will then bring hope to such people, and they will then think that there is nothing to hide from the side of the president, because he will subject himself on the legal processes, because the legal processes are fair and favor everybody based on the facts and based on evidence.
Now, the one thing that we obviously have picked up from the judgment that they came out. In fact, I suppose the question to ask is, where to from here? Do we expect to see Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane back in the Public Protector's office, or is a long due process that is expected to take place?
Yes, if I listen carefully to the legal experts who spoke about this, it's still a long journey, because they still have to, the decision has to be supported by the Constitutional Court. And in this case, you know, in South Africa, the processes do not speed up as we might want it to be. So it's still going to be a very long process. We don't know when is this decision is going to be taken. So, but what then will mean is that the Public Protector has to speed up the process. Perhaps she has to forward this judgment to the Constitutional Court and ask those who are on the other side to come, but particularly the legal experts. Now, again, what I also want us to focus on is on what does this mean on the current president. It will mean that the president will have to not jump into responding to this judgment. I know that they've spoken about this. They've said they will study the judgment, and again we'll see what happens in the Constitutional Court after all parties have met and have discussed this issue.
Now, some words that have come out from that judgment, or certainly implied retaliatory, bias, unlawful. Now, those are not the sort of phrases that you would like associated with the president of any country.
Yeah, but you see, I think the problem is, according to the Constitution, Section 194, the president can suspend the Public Protector once the proceedings have been initiated or have been started. And in this case, the process of impeaching the public protector has started long time ago, before the suspension have taken place. If you look at what the judgment, what the verdict is saying on the judgment, is saying that it is likely that based on the investigation by the public protector on the Phala farm, then they believe that this is the reason why the president speed up the process of suspending the public protector, because he had ample of time to suspend the public protector, but few days after the investigation of the Phala farm, and the president decided to suspend the public protector. In fact, if there was no investigation against the president, I don't think that was going to create problems in terms of the decision of suspending the public protector, because
sorry, Dr. Mbandlwa, or if the president had suspended the public protector before the Phala issue came to the fore, then obviously it would not have been an issue either.
Yes, exactly. So that's where the problem is now, because it seems like he decided to speed up the process of suspending the public protector after the announcement that the public protector will be investigating the president on the Phala farm. So that is the main point here. And even also, if you look at the judgment, you can see that the discussion was based on that particular point.
Now, does this decision by the Western Cape High Court offer fodder, if you will, for the president's enemies, or those that are opposed to the president? And certainly, what does this mean for the ANC?
I think at this point, the ANC members should not be obsessed about the court judgments, but they need to be obsessed about the public service delivery, and also on the fairness of our court on the land. Because if the court decisions are based on facts, it doesn't mean that if you are against a particular leader in the ANC, therefore the court will also be against that particular leader. And that's why I've said earlier on, this is a very interesting judgment, because even those who thought that the president can do whatever he wants to do, he cannot be held accountable. It shows that even the investigation that is taking place, or the processes that are being followed regarding the Phala farm, people will have faith and confidence in the agencies that are dealing with the matter, because they will not decide based on how they feel about the president, but they will decide based on the fact. Because I believe that the High Court of Western Cape today did not decide on the favor of the public protector because they like the public protector, but they were basing their argument on the fact. And again, you got remember, it was not only the public protector who was represented in the court. Also, the president also had people that were or legal experts that were representing him. So it means that there was an argument, there was a debate before the decision was taken by the court.
Now, finally, talk to us about the impeachment process of Advocate Mkhwebane. Is it affected in any way by this judgment?
I wouldn't want to talk more about the legal perspectives, but of course it will be affected, because at this point the decision was invalid. But the decision of the High Court of Western Cape is not final. So I think at this point we need to wait for the Constitutional Court to decide on this matter, because it's possible that the Constitutional Court will decide otherwise, or in favor of a decision taken by the Western Cape High Court. So at this point, I don't think it is fair to think about, because those are the two processes. The impeachment process and the process of suspending the public protector are two processes differently. Remember, the public protector was able to perform her duties even after the process of impeachment was initiated and started. And then now, after the suspension, it means that the public protector cannot do anything. So that is why she cannot even proceed with the investigation of the Phala Phala farm. And the acting is dealing with that particular issue. And the acting public protector is dealing with the issue at the moment.
Political analyst Dr Zamokuhle Mbandlwa, we appreciate your time this evening.